They gave us. And to put on record that the money that I gave was 500 CDs, not dollars. Thank you. I begin by bringing you greetings from Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. And I'm happy to state that I spoke to her yesterday morning, and she'll be back in the country before the end of next week. By God's grace, she's fully recovered, and she's going to come and go back to her duties.
President John Mahama, Akoba Jokana Mahe. Negana Maneano.
John Mahama Moji Machaono. Nene Moji Mache. Nene Moji Wache. Mama Moji Wache. Moji Wache o Mobama e. Mama Moji Wache o Mobama.
Moji Wache Nine.
Mama Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache Mama e. Mama Moji Wache o Mobama.
Mama Moji Wache Nine.
Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache Mama e. Mama Moji Wache o Mobama e. Mama Moji Wache Mama e. Mama o Mama Mama Moji Wache. Mama Moji Wache Mama. Mama Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache Mama e. Mama Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache.
John Mahama Jimache.
Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache Mama e. Moji Wache o Mobama e. Moji Wache Mama e. Moji Wache o Mobama e. Mama Moji Wache Mama e.
You are Samia.
Mama Moji Wache Mama e. Mama o Mama ko. Mama Moji Wache.
Ifekake. Apiema.
Eke nana Mama Moji Wache onu.
Let me begin by commending the cultural troupe for the very beautiful performance they gave us. And to put on record that the money that I gave was 500 CDs, not dollars. Thank you. Obuade Noche, King Professor Odaifio Welenche III, my friend and President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, our eminent traditional rulers who are gathered here, revered members of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, Nime Name, honorable ministers of state, honorable members of parliament, senior members of government, distinguished party executives, metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, chief executive officers, and managing directors of state-owned enterprises, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I begin by bringing you greetings from Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. And I'm happy to state that I spoke to her yesterday morning, and she'll be back in the country before the end of next week. By God's grace, she's fully recovered, and she's going to come and go back to her duties. It is with deep humility and heartfelt gratitude that I stand before you today here in Dodowa in the Greater Accra region as part of my national thank you tour. I'm here not just as the President of the Republic of Ghana, but as a grateful servant of the people of Ghana to acknowledge and appreciate the immense support that you, the chiefs and people of this historic region, gave me and the National Democratic Congress in the 2024 general elections. I say, Nyeyiwaladong. To all our chiefs and queen mothers who received me in your palaces with hospitality and poured libation and said prayers for our success, I say thank you very much. God richly bless you. Greater Accra region has always been strategic in Ghana's national development journey. As the seat of government, as the hub of commerce and finance, and a center of culture, the region carries the aspirations and struggles of our nation in many ways. Your votes, your encouragement, and your enduring faith in our shared vision for Ghana's progress were decisive, and I do not take them for granted. To the traditional authorities gathered here, Nime Name, the revered members of the Regional House of Chiefs, I thank you for your leadership, your counsel, and for being pillars of peace in a time when our democracy needed it the most. You've kept our traditions alive and provided a firm foundation upon which modern governance can thrive in Ghana. As president, I've always believed that a nation that forgets those who stand with it in times of need forgets its own future. And so if you see me here today, I'm just here to say, thank you, Greater Accra, for believing in us. Thank you, Greater Accra, for standing for justice, for standing for equity, for standing for a reset of our dear nation, Ghana. In fulfillment of the 120-day social contract we pledged during the campaign, I am proud to inform you that key actions have already been undertaken to lay the foundation of our reset agenda. These efforts are not abstract, but they are grounded in the daily struggles of the Ghanaian people, and especially of those who reside in our capital region, the Greater Accra. Let me acknowledge some of the sons and daughters of this region who are now playing key roles in my administration to deliver on the reset agenda. We have Madam Valerie Sawyer, who is a Senior Presidential Advisor on Governmental Affairs. We have Honorable Samuel Nate George, who is the Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation. We have Honorable Agnes Namomo Late, who is the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. We have Honorable Rita Na Odole Soa, who is the Deputy Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. We have the Honorable Linda Oklu, who is the Greater Accra Regional Minister. We also have other sons of this region serving in important positions, such as Mr. Sylvester Mensah, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export-Import Bank, popularly known as Ghana Exim. We have Dr. Ransford Anete Abe, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board. We have Mr. Julius Nikwe Kote, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA. We have Mr. Jones Bote Aple, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Gihok Distilleries Ghana Limited. We have Dr. Nimwe Thompson, who is the Chairman of the National Development Planning Commission. We have Genevieve Shirley Latte, who is the Executive Secretary of the Right to Information Commission. And we have Helga J. Bwedi, who is the Executive Director of the GNPC Foundation. These appointments reflect our commitment to inclusive governance and the full representation of every region in the shaping of Ghana's future. Nime Name, let me speak candidly on a few issues of concern to our capital region. And the first is flooding remains a major worry. Each year, lives and properties are lost as a result of floods, and this is due to poor drainage, unregulated development, and also the effects of climate change. This cannot continue. A dedicated interagency task force has already commenced work to implement a comprehensive flood mitigation strategy. And this includes the desilting of major drains, re-engineering of our waterways, relocating structures situated in watercourses, and enforcing our building regulations. The Odo Basin and the Kaneshi-Malam corridor are already being targeted under this plan. During my recent inspection of the World Bank-funded Greater Accra Resilient Integrated Development Program, GARID, I found that most of the flood prevention works are far behind schedule. While we await the completion of these projects, I call on all residents of Accra to avoid flooded drains during the rains and protect their valuable personal properties during the peak season of the rainy season in Accra, which starts from the end of this month till the end of June. We know that Accra deserves a clean and resilient environment, and that is why we're integrating the Greater Accra Flood Control Master Plan into our National Climate Resilience Strategy. The Honorable Minister of Finance directed in this year's budget that 80% of the revenues accruing to the District Assembly's Common Fund should be paid directly to the MMDAs. I'm happy you clapped, because to whom much is given, much is expected. So you wait for what is coming. Should be paid directly to the MMDAs. This means that more resources are going to be available to all assemblies to implement their development projects and carry out effective sanitation programs to keep our districts clean. Cabinet will soon meet on a decentralization of the sanitation budget and make every district responsible for its own sanitation. And this is the key one. Cleanliness will become one of the key performance indicators for measuring the performance of MMDCAs and will determine whether they remain in office or are removed. And now that most of our DCEs have been nominated and confirmed, we'll begin observing the National Sanitation Day program every month. This will be a revived monthly exercise involving all Ghanaians. This time, it will not be a symbolic event. It will be legally backed, it will be properly funded, and it will be operationalized through partnerships with local assemblies and private sector service providers. Greater Accra, as the face of Ghana, must be clean, green, and dignified. MMDCs shall be responsible for ensuring the success of the National Sanitation Day event in their districts. And the law requiring every household to keep their frontage and the drain in front of their houses clean will be strictly enforced. And persons who fail to comply will be sanctioned appropriately. On road infrastructure, I'm aware of the frustrations caused by congestion in the Greater Accra region, poor maintenance of roads, and incomplete road projects. Under the big push, rehabilitation and construction of key road corridors, including the Adenta-Dodowa Road, the La Teshi Link, the Tema Harbor-Tema Hospital Motorway Road, Apollonia to Oyibi Road, Tema. Apollonia people, are you here? Apollonia to Oyibi Road, the Tema Motorway expansion, which is ongoing, and other feeder roads in Ga East, Ga South, and Ningo Prampram, including roads in Shai Osudoku, Adan East, and Adan West. are going to be fast-tracked under the big push. Additionally, we will reconstruct the road from Dawenya to Afienya from Afienya to Dodowa and also from Doryungu to Dodowa and in addition the Asharman to Madina Road will all be repaired under the big push. Under the same program, major expansion works will take place on the Liberation Road, the Polo Court, Airport, Aviance, Elwak to Christ the King Corridor, and on the Ring Road from Kwame Nkrumah Interchange all the way to the La Beach Hotel. We'll also begin the construction of the Greater Accra Outer Ring Road, which will allow traffic that is continuing to the northern part of the country and to the western parts of the country to bypass Accra without coming through the city. And so it means trucks and others coming from Lome and going to Kumasi or to Takrade don't need to come through Accra city. They'll pass on the outer ring road and continue their journey. As a permanent fix to decongest Accra, we'll begin the design and feasibility study for a new city. Some of the government offices and agencies will be moved out of Accra to the new city. I believe that this city would be located somewhere on the Accra Plains from Bondasi, straddling across Greater Accra, Eastern region and Volta regions. The city will straddle 3 regions. The city will stretch to the banks of the Volta River, and there will be a railway link and an expressway that will link the new city to Accra. Chieftaincy disputes. While governments constitutionally cannot interfere in the internal matters of traditional institutions, we're deeply concerned by the impact of unresolved disputes on the development of our traditional areas in Greater Accra. I therefore urge all traditional councils to utilize the structures of the national and regional houses of chiefs to resolve matters of chieftaincy with dignity, through dialogue, and with mutual respect. The Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs stands ready to support and facilitate any resolution mechanisms fairly and neutrally. Distinguished elders, one issue that was repeatedly raised during my engagement with communities across this region was the matter of state lands and ancestral Dangme lands. These concerns are valid. I understand the historical injustices and emotional death tied to this matter. As a result, one of the first directives I issued upon assuming office as president was to direct the Lands Commission to halt all sale and processing of all government lands. This directive is still in force. Following the receipt of the oral committee report, the Attorney General initiated investigations into the alleged looting of prime government and Gadangbe lands that were sold to individuals with political influence, some for as low as 45,000 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, these are lands whose values run into millions of cedis. It is in that spirit that I announced that following these investigations, we will consider the formation of a commission of inquiry to investigate the acquisitions, allocation, and use of public lands in Greater Accra. This commission will work with our chiefs, legal experts, historians, and affected communities to produce a comprehensive report, and its outcome will guide a lasting and just solution to a matter that has festered for far too long. Under healthcare delivery in this region, we will aim to transform the quality of outcomes for our healthcare. We therefore intend to upgrade the Greater Accra Regional Hospital into a full teaching hospital. That is the Ridge Hospital. We will also construct Ridge Hospital Phase 2, which will increase the capacity of that hospital as a teaching hospital and Greater Accra Regional Hospital. The Ridge Hospital will also have an affiliation to the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. This will enhance specialist training and reduce referrals outside the region. Furthermore, we will expand CHIPS compounds in peri-urban communities like Botiano, Pung, Shai Osudoku to ensure that primary health care is accessible and reliable. For existing CHIPS compounds and all new CHIPS compounds we will build, we are going to include accommodation for the health workers who man the CHIPS compound. Let me commend the efforts of the Honorable Regional Minister, Linda Akwele-Oklu, and her MMDCs for their work in improving the street lighting and public safety in Accra. Well-lit communities deter crime and enhance urban mobility. I encourage the continuation and expansion of this initiative and will give it the full support of central government. Government will soon start the distribution and installation of street lights in all districts of Greater Accra. This will be important to promote our 24-hour economy policy, especially for persons who have to work in the night. Under the Market Enhancement Program, the Vice President, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, is leading a team that will select important markets across the country for improvement and reconstruction. And I believe that the Dodowa market is one of those that will see improvement. Our revered chiefs, my friends, our citizens, my government is committed to decentralization, local governance, and inclusive development. And that is why you continue to see greater engagement between the presidency and our traditional councils. I'll personally ensure that the voices of Gardangme communities, our fisher folk, our market women, our youth leaders, and professionals in this region are always heard and respected. Let us continue on this path hand in hand, heart to heart. Let us uphold the peace we enjoy. Let us work together to build a greater Accra that reflects the greatness of Ghana itself. Once again, I thank you for your support, your sacrifice, your prayers, and your belief in me. And I wish to assure you that I shall never disappoint you. May God bless the Greater Accra region. May God bless our traditional leaders. And may God bless our beloved homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Here you are, Don.